Most people shopping for a rugged SUV right now think the safe choices are the Toyota 4Runner or the luxury-focused Lexus GX550. But what if the smartest buy isn't either of them? The new Toyota Land Cruiser quietly flips the entire formula, mixing off-road heritage, modern tech, and pricing in a way nobody expected. On paper, it shouldn't be both, yet in several key areas, it might. So is this the SUV that makes its rivals instantly outdated? Or is there a catch nobody's talking about?
The SUV world is in a weird moment right now. Buyers want old-school toughness, but they also expect modern comfort, efficiency, and tech. That tension is exactly why this comparison matters. On one side, you have two icons from Toyota and Lexus, brands that built their reputations on durability and long-term trust. The 4Runner represents the classic, proven adventure SUV formula, while the GX550 pushes that same rugged DNA into the luxury space. Then the new 2026 Land Cruiser steps in and quietly reshuffles expectations. This isn't just another redesign. It's a strategic reset aimed directly at American buyers who want one vehicle that can commute all week, explore on weekends, and still feel special every time they start it. Visually, it leans into heritage styling, boxy and confident, but underneath, it promises a much more modern driving experience than people expect from a traditional off-roader.
What makes this launch so important is timing. Fuel costs, changing buyer priorities, and the growing demand for versatile SUVs mean shoppers are questioning what best value really looks like. And these three vehicles sit right at the center of that debate. In the next few minutes, we're going deep into design, comfort, performance, and real-world usability. Because once you see how they stack up feature by feature, the choice might not be as obvious as it seems.
Now, let's get into what actually separates these SUVs once you look past the badges. Start with performance, because this is where expectations flip. The Land Cruiser moves away from the old thirsty formula and adopts a modern hybrid-assisted powertrain that feels punchy off the line, but calmer on the highway. Around town, it's smoother and quieter than you'd expect from something this boxy. The 4Runner still delivers that old-school body-on-frame toughness people love, but its aging drivetrain feels heavier and less responsive in daily driving. The GX550 adds more power and refinement, yet you pay for that smoothness in both price and fuel stops.
Design is another big divider. The Land Cruiser leans hard into retro-inspired styling, flat panels, upright glass, and a confident stance that looks ready for a trail even when it's parked at a grocery store. It feels purposeful. The 4Runner keeps its rugged, familiar shape, but next to the newer designs, it can look dated. The GX550 is the polished one of the trio, aggressive grille, sharp lighting, and a luxury presence that clearly targets upscale buyers. Put them side by side, and you're basically choosing between heritage cool, classic toughness, and premium swagger.
Inside is where the surprises continue. The Land Cruiser blends durability with modern tech in a way that feels designed for real life. Big screens are balanced with physical buttons, materials feel tough but not cheap, and visibility is excellent thanks to the upright windows. The 4Runner's cabin is functional and dependable, but its tech layout shows its age. The GX550 swings the other direction, plush seats, high-end finishes, and a quieter ride, though some buyers may find the heavy focus on touch controls less practical off-road.
Capability still matters in this class, and all three bring legit credentials. The 4Runner remains a proven trail machine with a reputation built over decades. The GX550 adds advanced terrain systems wrapped in luxury comfort. But the Land Cruiser aims for a middle ground that might appeal to the widest audience. Strong off-road hardware paired with efficiency and everyday drivability. It's positioned as the SUV you don't have to put up with during the week just to enjoy on weekends.
And here's the twist. Once pricing and real-world value enter the conversation, the entire ranking starts to shift. On paper, one of these looks like the obvious winner. In reality, the smartest choice depends on details most buyers overlook, and those details might completely change the verdict.
This is the moment where the numbers and specs stop mattering and the driving experience takes over. Back to back, the differences become impossible to ignore. The first surprise is how modern the new Land Cruiser feels on real roads. It doesn't drive like a heavy, old-school SUV. It feels planted, composed, and unexpectedly quick when merging onto the highway. The hybrid assist fills in power smoothly, so there's no drama, just confident acceleration that makes it feel lighter than it looks.
Jump straight into the 4Runner, and you immediately feel the contrast. It's still tough and honest, but the steering feels slower, the ride more truck-like, and the engine works harder to deliver the same pace. Some buyers will love that raw mechanical personality. Others will realize it feels like stepping a generation back in time. Then the GX550 flips the mood again. It's quiet, powerful, and effortlessly smooth. You glide over rough pavement instead of crashing through it. But here's the shock. Despite the luxury edge, it doesn't create the same sense of balance as the Land Cruiser. The GX feels premium first, rugged second. The Land Cruiser feels like it genuinely blends both worlds.
Off pavement, the gap tightens. All three are capable, but the Land Cruiser stands out for how approachable it feels. You're not fighting the vehicle. Visibility, control, and confidence come naturally, even for less experienced drivers. That usability becomes the real turning point. It's not just about capability anymore. It's about how easy that capability is to access. And once you factor in ownership costs and everyday livability, the emotional favorite and the logical winner start pointing in the same direction, which makes the final decision far more interesting than anyone expects. So here's the clear takeaway after living with all three. The Land Cruiser lands in a sweet spot that barely existed before. It delivers modern comfort, strong efficiency, and real off-road credibility without feeling like a compromise in daily life. Its biggest strength is balance. The downside? Purists may miss the ultra-simple, old-school feel of earlier generations, and pricing still pushes it into serious money territory. But for most buyers, it feels like the smartest all-around package. The 4Runner remains the emotional choice. It's proven, durable, and beloved for a reason. If you value mechanical simplicity, long-term reliability, and that classic rugged vibe, it still makes sense. The trade-off is aging tech, lower efficiency, and a driving experience that feels dated next to newer rivals. It's ideal for loyalists and hardcore traditionalists, not shoppers chasing the latest refinement. The GX550 is for buyers who want capability wrapped in luxury. It's quiet, powerful, and undeniably upscale. But you pay a premium, and some of that rugged charm gets filtered through comfort. It suits drivers who want adventure potential without giving up a premium daily commute. In today's US market, this shift matters. Buyers are demanding SUVs that do everything: efficiency, comfort, durability, and style. The Land Cruiser signals where the segment is heading: multi-role vehicles that don't force you to choose between weekday practicality and weekend exploration. That influence will shape how future off-road SUVs are built.
If you were spending your own money, which direction would you go? Classic toughness, luxury power, or modern balance? Drop your pick in the comments. Hit like if this helped your decision, and subscribe for more honest comparisons that actually make buying easier.